Have you ever wondered what actually happens when you press a switch? Every day we flip light switches, press keyboard keys, click a mouse, and turn devices on and off. But what is a switch really doing? How does pressing a tiny button suddenly make electricity flow? And why does a light turn on the moment we flip a switch? In this lesson, we're going to answer all of those questions. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how switches work, why they're used in every electronic device, and how you can use them in your own circuits. So let's build a simple circuit and find out. As you can see, the LED is glowing, which means current is flowing through the circuit. Now, when I remove one wire, the circuit is broken, so current can no longer flow. That's why the LED turns off. When I reconnect the wire, the circuit is complete again, current starts flowing, and the LED lights up. Now imagine reconnecting and disconnecting this wire every single time you wanted to turn the LED on or off. This is exactly what a switch does. A switch simply breaks and reconnects the circuit, allowing us to control the flow of current. But what actually happens inside a switch? Let's take a look. Inside every mechanical switch are two metal contacts. When the switch is off, these contacts are separated. Because they aren't touching each other, current cannot pass through. When we turn the switch on, the contacts touch each other. Now electricity has a continuous metal path. Current flows through the contacts, and the circuit works. So every time you flip a switch, you're simply bringing two metal contacts together or separating them. It's actually a very simple mechanism. Now that we know how a switch works, let's learn two important terms you'll hear very often in electronics. The first one is an open circuit. When the switch is off, the circuit is open. The electrical path is broken, so current cannot flow. As a result, the LED stays off. The second one is a closed circuit. When the switch is on, the circuit is closed. The electrical path is complete, so current can flow through the circuit. That's why the LED lights up, so remember this simple rule. Open circuit equals broken path equals no current, closed circuit equals complete path equals current flows. Whenever you operate a mechanical switch, you're simply changing the circuit between these two states. If all switches do the same thing, why are there so many different kinds? Although every switch works on the same basic principle, they don't all look the same. Different applications require different types of switches. Let's take a look at some of the most common ones you'll find in electronics. Now let's start with a common SPDT toggle switch. Seeing terms like SPDT might seem a little confusing at first. Don't worry, we'll cover poles and throws in detail in a dedicated video later. For now, just remember this. The pole is the common terminal, and the throws are the terminals that the common terminal switches between. That's all you need to know for now. As you can see, this switch has three terminals. The middle terminal is called the common terminal. When I flip the switch to the left, the common terminal is connected to the left terminal, and when I flip the switch to the right, the common terminal is connected to the right terminal. So, at any given time, the common terminal is connected to only one of the two outer terminals. As you can see on the screen, this is exactly what's happening inside the switch. The internal contact simply moves from one side to the other, connecting the common terminal to either the left or the right terminal. Now let's continue with the push button. As you can see, this is a common push button switch. To make it easier to understand, let's label the terminals. We'll call this side the left side and this side the right side. A push button has two states, released and pressed. Let's first look at the release state. When the button is released, the connection between the left side and the right side is broken. Because of this, current cannot flow between terminals 1 and 4 to terminals 2 and 3. Now let's press the button. As soon as we press it, an internal metal bridge connects the left side to the right side. This completes the electrical path. Now current can flow between terminals 1 and 4 and terminals 2 and 3. When we release the button again, the bridge separates, the circuit opens, and the current stops flowing. This is the most common type of push button you'll find in embedded systems, Arduino projects, and many electronic circuits for taking user input. Now let's take a look at the rocker switch. This is one of the most common rocker switches you'll find in many electronic projects and household appliances. As you can see, this rocker switch has two terminals. Unlike the toggle switch we saw earlier, this one simply has two positions, on and off. When the switch is in the on position, the two terminals are internally connected. This completes the circuit, allowing current to flow. When the switch is moved to the off position, the internal connection is broken. As a result, current can no longer flow through the circuit. You'll commonly find rocker switches in extension boards, power strips, power supplies, and many home appliances. Even though it looks different from a toggle switch, it works on exactly the same principle. It simply connects or disconnects the electrical path. Now let's look at the slide switch. As you can see, this is a common slide switch. It has three terminals, with the middle terminal acting as the common terminal. When we slide the switch to one side, the common terminal connects to one outer terminal. When we slide it to the other side, the common terminal connects to the opposite outer terminal. So, just like the toggle switch, the common terminal is connected to only one side at a time. The only difference is the way we operate it. Instead of flipping a lever, we simply slide the switch from one side to the other. You'll commonly find slide switches in toys, battery-powered devices, small electronic gadgets, and many DIY projects. Although its appearance is different, it works on the same basic principle of making and breaking electrical connections. Now let's take a look at the rotary switch. As you can see, this is a rotary switch. Unlike the switches we've seen so far, this one can be rotated to multiple positions instead of just on and off. The switch I'm using has 8 different positions. As I rotate the knob, the common terminal connects to a different terminal each time. Only one terminal is connected to the common terminal at any given position. This allows us to select one output from several different connections. That's why rotary switches are commonly used whenever we need to choose between multiple options. A good example is the selector knob on a multimeter, where each position selects a different measurement mode. You'll also find rotary switches in audio equipment, industrial control panels, and many electronic devices that require multiple selections. Don't worry too much about terms like single pole and 8 throw for now. We'll learn about poles and throws in a dedicated video. For now, just remember that a rotary switch allows us to select one connection from multiple available terminals. And that's it for this lesson. I hope you now have a much better understanding of how switches work and the different types you'll come across in electronics. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming lessons. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics you'd like me to cover next, let me know in the comments below. Until then, keep building, keep experimenting, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next lesson.